Hey guys, it's Jeff from Pressure Luck, and it feels so weird doing this right now because I am using both hands to do this. Yes, I've listened to you. I have a tripod. I found a way to mount one onto one of my cabinet doors in my kitchen, so we're making it work here, and I have a new camera. Yes, Black Friday, couldn't resist it, so a fancy new camera now as well. We'll see how that works. It's a little bit of an adjustment for me. But that being said, we're here to make an incredible, incredible dish today. Something that's so simple and so easy and so outrageously delicious. It's also a pasta dish. Did I mention that? Guys, we're making a classic pasta dish today, and if you enjoy clams, well, let me tell you, this is the pasta for you. We are making linguine with white clam sauce, and I'm telling you right now, this thing's gonna be so full of flavor with some garlic, some butter, some lemon, some clams, everything that you'd want, some Parmesan in there. You're gonna just absolutely go gaga over it. So guys, let's do a tarantella and start prepping this amazing dish right into our Instant Pot. So we're gonna start with one shallot and dice it up. And I used a really nice big shallot, by the way. Now I want to take two 6.5 ounce cans of chopped clams in their juices, and I want to put them through a strainer and reserve the juice and the clams separately. So there we go. And there's can 2. So we have our chopped clams reserved up here and our juices reserved down here. Perfect. Let's separate them and set them aside. So now to the Instant Pot, I'm gonna take a half a stick or 4 tablespoons of salted butter and a 1/4 cup of extra virgin olive oil. And now that our butter and oil is in the pot, let's give it some heat. I'm gonna hit the saute function here, and I want to adjust it so it's on the more or the high setting depending on your model. And then what we want the butter to do is just melt and let the oil begin to sizzle. And now that our butter is all melted and we're getting a little bit of a bubbly sizzle in the pot, we're gonna add in our shallots. I'm gonna stir that around in the pot for a couple of minutes until they get a little bit soft, for about 2 minutes. So once the onions have had a chance to cook for a little bit, for about 1 to 2 minutes in the pot, that's fine. We're going to add in some wonderful, delicious crushed garlic, 1 tablespoon of it. And then stir that in with everything and cook for about another minute. Now I want to add in a 1/4 cup of a dry white wine or a white cooking wine. Use like a Chardonnay or a Sauvignon Blanc, and let's just let that bubble in there for about another minute to get some of the alcohol burned off. And some incredible aromas are going to be released while this is all cooking at the same time. You guys remember this? Of course you do. Better than bouillon roasted garlic base. Yes, they do make it in garlic base, in case you didn't know. I'm going to take 1.5 teaspoons of this plus 1.5 cups of water, and that's going to make 1.5 cups of a garlic broth. Now, if you don't have the garlic base, you can just use chicken broth. I'm going to be using 1.5 cups of this garlic broth. I'm also going to add in 1 tablespoon of lemon juice. I'm using fresh lemon juice, but you can use the kind that's already in the fridge. And I'm going to take our reserved clam juice and pour that in there as well. And give that all a nice good stir. We don't want to put our clams in there right now because the clams will cook very quickly and become rubbery, and we certainly do not want that to happen, as we're going to go in at the very end. Alright, now let's season this up. I'm going to take 1 teaspoon of dried oregano, 1 teaspoon of dried parsley flakes, 1 teaspoon of sweet dried basil, 1 teaspoon of Old Bay seasoning, and 1/2 teaspoon of a black pepper. And now let's stir all of this up together nice and good. Yeah, get that all nice and combined. This is going to be an unbelievably delicious sauce. Now, this wouldn't be a linguine with white clam sauce without, you guessed it guys, linguine. There we go. I'm going to take half of a 16-ounce box of linguine, meaning 8 ounces of it. There we have it. And I'm going to break it in half right over the pot, and then just put the linguine on top of all of our liquid in the pot. Now, I don't want to stir this up with everything, I just want to press it down so it's nice and submerged with our liquid. Now, we don't want to put the entire box in there because this absorbs a lot of the liquid that we already have in there. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put the lid on and we're going to cook. Okay, so let's secure our lid and put it on top of the Instant Pot. So now I'm securing my lid. Make sure we're in the sealing position by making sure this notch is up just like that. Perfect. And I'm going to come down here and I'm going to cook it. Okay, so now let's shift our gears over from the saute function to the pressure cooking function. I'm going to hit the keep warm cancel button here, and then depending on your model, I'm going to hit either the manual button, which this one has, or the pressure cook button, which some other models have. They're the exact same button, just different names on different models. So manual or pressure cook, and then I want to adjust it so it's on 6 minutes of cooking time. That's it, guys, on high pressure. Simple as that. And now that it's done, let's do a quick release. Do a quick release. And the pin just drops. Let's get the lid off the pot. And look at that. The linguine is cooked perfectly. Fantastic. And by the way, it should be a little bit liquidy at this point because it's going to thicken up in just a few. So remember our clams, guys, that we separated from the juices before? We're going to add those in now. and stir that up with our linguine and our sauce.
And of course, you need a little bit of Parmesan cheese in there, right? We're gonna put 1/4 cup in there, and you're gonna see, once we mix the Parmesan cheese in with the pasta and the sauce, things are gonna really start to thicken up real nicely.
Isn't that looking nice? Okay, and let's just let that set there for a few moments on the low setting, which the pot automatically turns to when it's done pressure cooking. And let's get some heat to those clams. After about 2 minutes of letting it sit there and thicken, we're gonna serve it up. So there we go, and put it in there. And already look at this amazing garlic butter clam sauce. Oh yeah. And there we have it, our beautiful creamy linguine with white clam sauce. And make sure you really scrape the bottom of that pan for every single piece of clam that's in there. All right, phenomenal. I mean, how does that look to you guys? All right, let's try it out. Manja, time to eat this up. Let's twirl it around with a fork first. That's how I like to do it. That's how I was taught to do it, by twirling your pasta up with a fork. Oh wow. Oh boy. If you like clams, if you like butter, if you like garlic, you are going to love this linguine and white clam sauce. Oh, St. Peter's Basilica. This is like supreme, be-all, end-all linguine with white clam sauce. I'll tell you that right now. It's absolutely incredible, the flavors, the way the clams and the butter and the cheese and the olive oil and everything melts together, and that garlic base in there. Oh man, I'm telling you right now, no vampires are paying you any visit tonight, or maybe even for the year. It's just an absolutely sublime pasta dish. It tastes so wonderful, and it's just so much fun to eat. I love linguine. I mean, you can even recreate some Lady in the Tramp here, you know what I'm saying? Instead of nudging a meatball over, you just nudge a clam. What a phenomenal pasta dish. Guys, if you enjoyed these videos, please go to PressureLuckCooking.com. I have tons of recipes there that run the entire gamut, a huge spectrum of them. If you want to pin any recipe to a board on Pinterest, just hover over any photo on any recipe. A little save icon will appear in the upper left side of the screen, and then pin it to any board. Go to my Facebook page, facebook.com/PressureLuckCooking, and like that page. There's so much content there that you guys don't want to miss. Updates, tips, deals on things, humor, you name it, it's there. Follow me on Twitter at PressureLuck, Instagram, subscribe to me on YouTube. All things you want to do if you really enjoy this channel. Thank you so much again. There's something about a pasta that is just so special and makes you feel so warm and fuzzy inside. Easily one of my favorite pasta dishes of all time.